How's everyone doing? I know this is such short notice. I actually wasn't planning on going live, and then I had decided, you know what, I'm gonna go live instead of putting a post today. I am looking quite a wreck, and that is what it is. But I wanted to show you that I'm here. I'm recuperating. I spent most of yesterday sleeping, part of today sleeping, but I also have deadlines, so quilting deadlines for things I can't show you, and I had to get one of those situated, and then the other ones I will do this week. So if you saw my post, if you didn't see my post, my daughter is recuperating. I'm home now. She's home at her house. We did go out for a little bit on, was it Friday afternoon? I think it was Friday afternoon. I got home very, very late. So I'll say sometime Friday afternoon we went out. She was feeling a little better and, wanted to get out of the house and get some fresh air. She had been home for about 24 hours. Good morning, Tessa. And so she felt like going out. So I said, okay, I'll go out with you. So we did. We went. Good morning. Good morning. Listen to me. I don't even know what. It's good evening. Good afternoon, Tessa. Good afternoon, Beverly. She wanted to go out, so I wanted to make that happen. So we. Oh, you know what? I didn't change my chat. So we went ahead and I took her out, and she said, let's go to the mill. You haven't been to the mill, and it's an old mill in Lowell, Massachusetts, and it's an artisan mill. It's a non-for-profit artisan mill, and it is somewhere she's thinking about putting an application in, even though there's a huge wait list. And she wanted to show me, so I went and we toured it, and it was so, so, so lovely. So many artisans, every kind of artisan you can ever think of. I went ahead and took pictures. I'm going to try to get those in some kind of gallery. Hi, Debbie. How are you? I got your message from Lynn, and it says, you know what? I can't wait. Let me bring you closer to me. I'm so happy to see you praying for Angelica and your family. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here too. I'm really quite exhausted after 2 weeks of craziness and stress. Hello, Annette. How is everyone? Hello, Michelle. Oh, I'm so happy to see everyone on here. I didn't think I was going to have many people on here. You look fine. I'm glad your daughters are prepared. So yeah, so we went to this mill. I wish I knew the name of the mill. If you guys are from Massachusetts or want to go to Massachusetts, I think I'm gonna have to do a little Massachusetts like pre-recorded video of all the places I went and found and ate that were super delicious. But I met a lot of artists. My daughter met a lot of artists. We toured all their little studios, and I really hope my daughter will get picked to get a studio there. I think it'll be a good fit for her. Hi, Nancy. I also think it'll be healthy for her to get out of the house so that she can be with other people in like an artist space because she does all her crafting at home. She's really not able to do a lot of traveling and whatnot, and this is pretty close to where she is. So it will be great if she'll get a studio soon, hopefully. But everyone told us this the waiting period is very long, so we'll just have to wait. But in the midst, I met a lot of quilters, and there were a lot of quilters who had their own studio space there, and it was so neat to meet and talk with them. Hi, James. Okay, I'm doing well. And so I met a lady named Opal. She is super sweet. Her name is Opal Goff. She's artist at play. She does collage, printmaking, and quilting. And this is her business card. She does really wonderful abstract things. Oh, that's the studio. It's called Western. It has it right here. Western Avenue Studios. So if you're in Lowell, Massachusetts, go to Western Avenue Studios. And she does private instructions and group lessons. And she was wonderful. What a wonderful, beautiful lady. We were talking for a long time. And she says there's a lot of mother and daughter studio spaces, and which I thought was great. And even though I'm not there living full time, I mean, I would go up and definitely support my daughter and have it a mother-daughter space if that's what she wants, whatever she wants. But she does abstract artists like quilts, right? It's not necessarily a pattern. And she was showing me all her wonky 9 patches. And I said, wait, wait, wait. I love those chickens. And what does she do? She pulls out, hi, Aisha. She pulls out the fabric. Here's the fabric. And she gives me a piece of the fabric. She goes into her studio. It was super sweet. And so I came home with this fabric. And so I'm excited. And when I go back on visit, we're going to go, I have been invited to go to her studio and we can have a sew date. We can have a sew date together. And I thought that would be so much fun. She's also going to introduce me to some quilters out there. Also some retreats that happen very close to that town. I have never been to a retreat. But their guild is lovely. I haven't met the ladies. She talks about it. And one of the missions is what I call a passive forward quilt. They call them comfort quilts. So she was telling me that, maybe I could come when they do a comfort quilt sew-a-thon or something. And I had asked her, well, what if I happen to have a passive forward quilt with me? Can you add it to your stash? She says, yes, why? I go, because I travel with passive forward quilts, because I just never know if on my travels there's someone that's going to be in need of a quilt. So she walked down with me to my car, and sure enough, I gave her the passive forward quilt. She was tickled pink. She couldn't believe the back of my car. She goes, wow, you really do drive with your whole quilting studio with you. And I said, yes. And like she said, it's too bad that we just met my last day there, because I could have been, have a spot to sew. I had a spot to sew, but it was very far from where my daughter was. So I really didn't sew much of anything. Hi, Joydy. But then I met another artist of fabric, and she's interested in quilting, but doesn't seem to think she has the patience. But she's an amazing dressmaker. Oh my goodness. Her dresses were fantastic. And this is her Queen Adeline. And you guys should check her out. I mean, she has very beautiful, unique clothing that she makes. I said, if you can do that, I'm sure you can figure out a quilt. I mean, beautiful. So I had said to her, your clothing is so beautiful and bright. I said, I would love to just play in your scraps. Well, she says, well, funny thing you should say that, because I'm putting together scrap bags. And she was showing me what her idea of the scrap bag. And she said, well, here's a bag. And I bought one. And so here we go. I have a bag of scraps. All these scraps comes from Ghana. She actually brings it over with her. And it's all different African prints. They're all 100% cotton. They're cut-offs from all her clothing that she makes. It's really, really beautiful. I wish I was in a financial place to buy one of those dresses. They are couture dresses. It's gorgeous. But you know what? The fabric, she's bringing the fabric over. Nothing to her. She absolutely deserves every penny of that, because she makes those dresses herself and is well deserving of it. I'm just not of that category. Not yet. I always think, yeah, if I hit the lotto, I'm going to buy 3 or 4 of her outfits. Oh my God, they're beautiful. I hope she gets discovered one day, because her clothing was just spectacular, and the ideas that she had, she just has them in her head. So yeah, there's so many pieces here. So one day I will figure something out. They're not very big scraps, but I've always, I mean, these are real. Like sometimes you go to fabric stores and they say they're real and they're not. These are real African fabrics. It's just, and the feel is different. When I went to the International Quilt Festival, there was some, you know, some, what do you call those? Like, I can't even think right now. Some stations, right? Or some booths. That's it. Some booths of African fabric. But when I felt them, they were very hard and waxy. And these aren't. These are super, super soft. See, and these are the thing. And she told me that if they're super thick and waxy, they're not always 100% cotton. They're most likely polyester. And they try to stick wax over them to cover the fact that they are polyester and not 100% cotton. Well, just gonna ask you wait, what? Was just gonna ask you how they feel. Yes, they feel super soft, not anything like I felt at the booths. So, which is interesting. And she gave me a whole history and the whole 9 yards. And yeah, it's so different. So she told me anytime I feel anything that's thick and they're calling it an African print, she says it might be, but she says, but it may not be cotton. So yes, so these are super soft. There's so many of them. Hopefully I will make some kind of something. I have something in mind and I showed it to her. Hi Jordan. Okay. I don't know how many days to Christmas, and I know you're busting my chops, but that's okay. You know what? If this is what coming on here and asking silly questions make you happy, go for it. Like, look at this. Yeah. So, and this, look at this. The little birdies. I mean, really. All right. Well, now you're going to make me kick you out of the group. And I'm not that kind of person. I don't like to do that. But I guess I'm going to have to. Oh, anyone that's on here, if per se you Nightbot kicks you out because of the emojis, I apologize. You know, I felt horrible that Nightbot made someone feel they hurt their feelings. I don't mean, you know me, I don't mean for me to hurt anyone's feelings, let alone a robot. Because like that robot should have gotten rid of all those and didn't. And then he busts people's chops on here who are legitimate. And so again, I apologize if Nightbot is not nice to you all. That's never my intention. Oh, this one I didn't mean to, this one I didn't mean to pick up because this one she told me was rayon. It's okay, I'll make something else out of it. I think in all the fuss and I must have put it in there. Oh, look at this one. I didn't even know this one was in here. Look at that. So there is a pattern and I showed it to her. Missouri Star did some kind of charm quilt with it. And so I think I'm going to do something like that. It's like falling charms, I think they call it. And I think it'll look nice. This is the last of this. And she makes jewelry out of this too. Beautiful jewelry out of fabric. It's amazing. She rolls it up. So if you are ever in this area, you should definitely go to Lowell. Check out this woman's website because it's really unique stuff. It really is. I loved it. And her fabric does feel fantastic. So that, I showed you a couple things. And this is what I did finish. I only finished one in the 2 weeks that I was there. I can see you making a scrappy big block pattern to show off those gorgeous prints. Yes, that's my plan. let's see. So this was this pattern here that I bought. Hi, Rhonda. That I bought from Soft Squares on her Monday Night Live. I hope everything is good with your daughter. Yes, yes. I've been talking to her every day. She seems to be getting better and better, which is great. I think I have the okay to tell you what went wrong, but I'll explain it all after. So, you know what? I'm going to put this up here. Let me put it up here. I'm sorry I'm giving you dead air for right now, but I think I'm going to put it on the design wall. So I did this quilt without a design wall. I just had to wing it. And this is poppy cotton. And so I want to say recipe, it's not it. The pattern only is these 4 and then 1, 2, 3. I added 2 more to extend it. And what I did was, instead of making 4 big blocks, I took 2 of these blocks, and then I took 4 pieces and made a 4 patch here and a 4 patch here. And this is, what collection is this? I think this is Farm Girl, except for this 4 patch and this 4 patch is from another line. I just happen to have charm squares and cut them down. But this is Farm Girl, I think. Calling All Farmers or something like that. I don't know, honestly, guys. So this is the only thing I've done. The colors are beautiful. Thank you. Hi, Chloe. Yes, so I've done this. I'm happy with it. I did finish the cotton cuts. Thank you. I can't even think. I did finish the cotton cuts quilts or wall hanging. I am super excited. It came out so good. And I wanted to show it to you. But then when I was reading everything, it said that it can't be anything shown in previous posts to enter. So I'm not going to show it because I want to put in my entry first. And once it's entered in, I can show it. But I did use it up and I was very happy with it. Hi, Anna. Oh, Anna, I wanted to go see your husband today play in his band. I was talking with some family members. I told everybody I found my band again, and I just couldn't. I just didn't make it. I'm still really recuperating, but we'll see each other soon. So glad you're back and that your daughter is doing better. I must have been hard to leave her. It was, except for the fact, beautiful saturated colors on the African fabric. It was hard and it was not hard. So this was the deal. I was not going to leave until today. It wasn't, I left on Friday so late. I didn't get home until, about 11 or 12, 11:30 or so. Because we went out that afternoon and she had color back in her face and she was acting her normal self. And in my head, when I talked this over and over, because, you know, before even showing up to her apartment that morning, I had made the decision I was staying Sunday. And then I saw her, but I had everything packed because I have issues here at home as well that need to be tended to. And my thought was, she's home for the next 2 days and her partner is home with her and he's around. So I figured if anything went haywire, he's there with her and I can go back, let's say tomorrow. Of course, I called her today. Everything is fine. So what happened is she had to have surgery. It wasn't a choice. She had to have it. It dealt with her oxygen saturation in her blood. She needed to get a nasal surgery to be breathing right and getting oxygen in her body. So that's really important, first thing. So what happened was she was doing great, right? I was with her. She was doing great. She's like, I've never recovered from surgery so fast in my life and sprung back. She told me that day I had left. And that evening, sometime between 9 and 10, she got extremely ill and was not well at all, to the point that they had said to her, you're going to have to call 911, or your partner is going to have to take you to the local hospital, that you will not be able to make it to, Boston due to traffic and whatnot. This was, so I guess it was Monday that this happened, right? Because my days are all mixed up. So Sunday I had left, she was fine. So it was Monday. That's right. She woke up. She started feeling weird Sunday night, but she woke up Monday, and then she ended up in the hospital on Monday. And she was there. And so then when I found out, because I was on a live, on the Soft Squares live, I had left you all, and I had went downstairs so that I can pack and get everything together. And then I was told, don't drive in the middle of the night, to come to her, because he was with her. He was staying with her. He wasn't gonna not be with her until I showed up. So, and plus she could only have one person. So that was fine. So I got myself all together and left first thing Tuesday, because I worked Monday. So Tuesday. And when I got there, they had her stable. And so they didn't know what was going on. So going backwards 2 years ago, she had had a surgery she had needed as well, absolutely needed. And the same thing happened 2 days after, was it 2 or 3 days after that surgery? So there was a common denominator, that she has this event, and what it does is it attacks her organs. The last time it attacked her organs, and she was in critical condition the last time for over a week in a ward where she has been watched over by a doctor and a nurse 24 hours with other patients. So when I got the call and I knew she was in the hospital and they were admitting her, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, not again to that extreme. So yes, it was affecting her organs, but it was mostly her liver. And by the time they figured it out, by seeing the notes from the last hospital visit and the notes from this hospital visit, they realized it was called drug toxicity to your organs. And they figured what medications was she on then and now that is causing this. And because she's on lots of different medications, and they always change it and switch them around. And the one common denominator was antibiotics. Now, she has had antibiotics all through her childhood. She's never had an allergy to penicillin or any kind of allergy, or any kind of antibiotic that we knew of. And sure enough, it was the antibiotics. So when she was discharged, because let's see, the first day I was there, they had her stable. And then the second day, she wasn't. She spiked. Everything went really downhill. And then they had her on all kinds of, well, she was on all kinds of machines, but all kinds of different drips. And they had forgotten to give, right, the first, yeah, was she, oh, I'm sorry. The first, everything's coming crazy. The first night she was, right, admit, that was Monday. We went into Tuesday. That's right. Tuesday I was there. That's right. Her stuff looked better on Tuesday. But that's because they forgot to give her her meds the night before. We're not even going to go there, because this mama bear was all over it. All I can say is, if anybody's in the hospital, you need to be next to them and be an advocate. I mean, advocate, because if not, they ignore you. So, I was there all day Tuesday until they kicked me out, because they're very strict with visitation time on that floor. So they had forgotten. So all her numbers went down. It all makes sense, right? But then the next day I said, don't forget to give her her medication. And then they did give her the medication. And that's when everything went really crazy and haywire. And then she had all kinds of stuff. And we wanted to transfer her to the big hospital in Boston, and they were refusing. It was like a whole deal. So finally, they gave us the choice of leaving the hospital and then doing what we want afterwards, or staying there another night. So we chose to leave because of our experience, which wasn't very good. Because even though we all knew that this was a drug interaction of some sort that was causing all this organ failure, they were still giving her the drugs. I said, can't we just keep her off the drugs until we figure it out, please? And they said no, they couldn't. And you know what? The next day she was going to the big hospital because her surgery required for stuff to be taken out of her passageways and stuff. I've had nasal surgery, sinus surgery. I had major polyps and I had all that, but that's not the kind of stuff she had. So she actually had stuff in her where I didn't. And so they were like, well, we can take it. I was like, no, you're not touching her. Nope. I said, she's going to the leading doctor for this in the East Coast. That is who the person who did her surgery is going to take that stuff out. So that's why we opted to leave the hospital. And at that time, we were speaking to the other hospital where she has a medical team. So my daughter has a medical team at the Harvard Hospital. So she has a team, and the team had decided that we are, even though they said that she should have been medically transferred, but because the other hospital was being resistant, that, you know what, she's fine. They told me to make sure that they give her all her IV drips until they're done. And when they were done, to leave. And that's what we did. And that was really in the evening of Wednesday. And then Thursday morning, her appointment was at 7 a.m. So we really were only home for a short window. And they told us, don't take any drugs while you're home. At least you can control that at home, where that hospital was telling you have to take it. So she didn't take any of it. And then she went the next day. That was Thursday. They took everything out. Everything looks great. So the surgery itself was very successful. And then they took blood, and her levels were going down, so that she wasn't, because if her levels didn't go down, then they were going to admit her. And because they were seeing progress since she was off the antibiotics, and it was going down, it was totally fine. And it keeps going down every day. So it's just a matter of getting it out of her system, and we're probably almost there. And she's seeing the team of doctors and specialists again this week. I forgot what day it is, but she's seeing them this week. So everything is great. Boston, what is it? Boston, Mass General and Brigham's is wonderful. That's where she mostly goes to. I won't disparage this other hospital, but it was a local hospital that wasn't, which actually surprisingly belongs to a very good medical network. So that's why we didn't think anything of it. But it is night and day care from two places. And it also helps that Mass Gen, right? She has a team of doctors there that know her. I mean, she's had this since she was 8 years old, all these weird, autoimmune stuff. So it does help, because they have all, at that hospital, they have all her stuff since she was 8. Like, we kept meticulous notes. And so they have all that, and so they're on it. And she did share all those files with this other hospital, but she was just another number there. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm missing everyone. Michelle says hi to Beverly and everyone. Debbie says, my goodness, Miss Leanna, you and the family have been through too much. Please, Jesus. What? No, is that what that? Yes. Oh, praise Jesus. She has you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. She has us all. Sorry you had to go through that. Rhonda says, wow, that's a roller coaster. I'm glad it's better. How scary. It was very scary. The other time was scarier than this time, but I'm just so happy it wasn't as bad as last time. And she is on the road for full recovery. She knows at any point, if at any point she feels weird, she just gives me a call at work, and I'm ready for it. I have my bags already downstairs, and they're semi-packed, meaning that all I have to throw in is a couple of days of clothes, but they're out and ready to go if need be. So that's why, yeah, I just didn't have a lot of time to sew anything really, except for what you saw there. I did eat a lot. So I guess I got to go back to my diet here shortly because I ate a ton. She told me of a place called Sully's. So if you guys are in Massachusetts near Chelmsford, Sully's homemade ice cream is absolutely delicious and divine. I should put pictures of that. I tried, I don't know, I went almost every day. I was like an addict. I think it was because it was like comforting and it was so darn delicious. I mean, this is a chef telling you. It's really good. It's worth the trip. Wherever you are in Massachusetts, honestly, it's so good. So we had that. And then I ate what was it? Was it Friday night? Yeah, because we went to the mill for a couple hours only, just to get out of the house and do stuff. And then I bought them dinner again, and we ate at a place called Eli's Hole in the Wall. So if you live near Lowell, Massachusetts, and you want to eat some really good Puerto Rican like party food, snack food, because he doesn't do like traditional Puerto Rican like cuisine as far as arroz con gandules and like a sit down plate. He does more like party food kind of stuff. Oh my god. I got to tell you, I have eaten a lot of Puerto Rican food, and I used to teach Puerto Rican cooking for the Culinary Institute of America here in Hyde Park. So I tout my food pretty high. I'm not gonna lie, I do. And maybe I'm getting a big inflated head because everybody tells me how good it is. But his food, especially that kind of food he had, was I can't even express to you. It was better than any food that I even got in Puerto Rico myself. It was that good. He was from Rio Piedras in Puerto Rico, and he opened up this hole in the wall, literally a little tiny storefront inside, and he does pizza, like Italian pizza and cannolis, excuse me, on one side, and then on the other side, it's Puerto Rican like treats, and to die for. I had something called the loaded tostones. So tostones is green plantains that have been smashed, double fried, and with some garlic and salt. And that is super delicious. And so he takes that, he puts that at the bottom of like on a plate, and he throws a ton of pernil, which is roast pork, like a garlicky roast pork. That pernil, oh my goodness. I think that pernil was better than mine. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I think his was better than mine. And I thought I made a super delicious one, but his was outrageous. So he put that on there, and then he puts this like garlic sauce on there. It's like an orange little garlicky sauce. That was to die for. Then I had stuffed yuca. That was also to die for. And they were like little croquettes of mashed yuca with some meat inside. Yes. And then alcapurrias. And that is like, how am I going to explain that? Because if you guys know what a pastele is, it's like a deep fried pastele. So a pastele is made with green bananas, and it's mushed with seasoning. That was the best alcapurria I have ever had. And I never even made alcapurrias myself. So I make pasteles, but never alcapurria. That was the best thing ever. Oh my goodness. I just go there. Just go there, because if you want to taste some Puerto Rican like fun stuff, just go there. I can't wait till I visit my daughter again, because I already have my order of what I'm going to order there that I hadn't tried there, because he had something called like a guava glazed chicken fingers or chicken wings. That's what it was, chicken wings. He had some other stuff that I want to try. And I want to get his pizza. I was watching him make pizza there. Oh my goodness, this man's pizza looked fabulous. It looked like pizza from New York City. So I definitely have to go there and try the pizza. So let me go through this real quick. Let's see. It was a roller coaster. I think that, yes, praying, yes, full recovery. We're there. Okay. How scary that must have been. Good thing Mama Bear went to the rescue. Oh, yes. You know that they hadn't even bathed her? Like, they didn't give her anything. Like, how is she supposed? They gave her wipes to bathe herself. But how do you bathe yourself when you take her right hand arm and she is got from here to here IV, like more than one, okay, and hooked up to machines? How is she supposed to wash herself? Because she can't bend her arm. When she did, like, just try to bend it a little, off went all the machines like crazy. So yes, Mama Bear came. Mama Bear took care of her. I cleaned her. You know, she's my baby forever, right? She's my firstborn as well. So, hi, Janice. I saw something come up about an email. Happy birthday! I believe it's Janice's birthday today, guys. Let's welcome Janice and tell her happy birthday. This could be Janice's somewhat birthday party too. Hello, Marlene. Jody says it sounds delicious. It was. Yes, all that Puerto Rican food is all good. Yes, it is. Healthcare is not what it used to be. No, it is not. It must have been amazing if a Puerto Rican chef was impressed. I'm telling you, I almost called Eli today at his restaurant saying, remember you met me? Because we talked a while. Remember you met me? Well, let me tell you, your food is delicious. Yes, it's so sad. You have to be your own advocate. Do you know something? That there was a lady next to my daughter. Hi, Dawn. And she must have been in her 90s. And she hit her button 4 separate times. And 4 separate times, like over the intercom, the lady said, what can we get for you? And she says, I need my pain meds and I need water, a glass of water. Oh, Janice says it's not today. Sorry, that's okay. I celebrate all month. See, sorry, Jody. See, Nightbot put you in timeout. I'm so sorry. I know that really bothers people, and I haven't had a chance to take it out or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll figure it out. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So there was a lady next to us. She hit the buzzer 4 times. Finally, the 5th time, she hit the button. Hi, Linda. And another nurse, an actual physical nurse, came in and said, what's, she knew her name. She said, what's up? She's like, she had just come back from a break, or I don't know where she was, or she was changing guards or something. And she says, the old lady stood up for herself. I was so happy. I was about ready to go like this and clap, because she asked her, what did you want? She goes, I'm not going to tell you what I want, because they all know what I want. She says, but I'm going to tell you my experience, and then I'm going to tell you what I want. And she's like, I hit that button 4 times. I made it very clear that I need my pain meds and I need a glass of water. I don't think I'm asking too much to get a glass of water. And this nurse apologized. I never saw this nurse before until then. And she goes, well, I like you. This lady was in the hospital for a length of time. She goes, I like you. You actually listened to me. And that nurse came and she says, I can't give you any more pain meds now, but I'm going to give you some Tylenol for the edge. And then she says, and I'm going to give you that. And I'm going to come back with a nice big pitcher of water and I'm going to pour you a glass. But that lady, she had spunk. She gave it right back to him. And she told him. And I was like, yeah, that's good. But I felt bad because, like, she needed someone to be there, to make sure everything is good. Where am I here? Marlene says happy birthday. Debbie says happy birthday, Miss Janice. Today is one of my grandson's birthday as well, and his name is Carson. So I've always called him Carsoni. Is that it? Carsoni? I don't know, but happy birthday, Carson. Glad to see you're back in your happy place. Yes, I'm not bothered, LO. I figured that would happen. Thanks, everyone. Hi, Linda. Okay, so yeah, that's my story. We had some really crazy. It's pathetic. Seriously, it really is. I mean, I don't know how. Oh, and then the other thing. That was the other thing. My daughter had the nose surgery thing, right, for her sinus and swelling and whatever, so that she can breathe more. And it's packed, so she's supposed to have that change. Do you know that she had to change it? So like there was 2.5 hours to 3 hours that she was without her partner and without me. And so she said that she had hit her nurse button, and for 2 hours, it took 2 hours for someone to come, and she started yelling that someone in the hallway came in when she saw someone passing, and they said, "Oh, your button doesn't work. The button doesn't work in this room." This is why this is one of the main reasons we left when we were given the okay by other doctors. So she said that at that time she asked that nurse, "Well, you're gonna have to bring me gauze and tape because this has to get changed." Again, ladies and gentlemen, her arm was like this. She had to do it all with her left arm. And yeah, but I will say that once I got there, we were well attended by the nurses. They were coming in all the time. And my daughter said, "Do you know not one single nurse came in, and you are here, and now they're all coming in." So yes, so we got good. You know what, Janice? This is the way it is. I'm sorry you had that experience. I know. Unfortunately, this is the way it is. I mean, this is the way it's been for years. Unfortunately, it's just how it is. And I don't blame the nurses so much because they're understaffed. They really are, right? They are all understaffed, overworked. They've done wonderful things. But, I don't know what the story is, but all I know is that it didn't look like there was a lot of nurses compared to how many patients were there. I mean, I'm gonna give them a break because the nurse that came in, her nighttime nurse, which is from me, she was attentive, and she even asked if she needed to change things. So that was good. You need a patient advocate. I mean, excuse me, they should have called engineering. That's no excuse for that. Nurses should have been checking. Yes. And administration is at fault, not the nurses. That's what I mean. Yeah. I don't want to say they were bad. I want to say they were probably overworked and not enough is what I'm going to say. And maybe a couple bad ones here and there. I mean, what it boils down to is in today's society, anyone who's in the hospital needs an advocate, basically, is what I gather, right? Because I mean, I will say though that didn't happen at the Boston hospital. I had not ever had that experience at that big hospital, but we don't know. They need volunteers and candy stripers to help the old days of yes, for simpler things. Absolutely, Jordy. I agree 100%. And it is what it is there. Dang, I'm a nurse and I'm ashamed of the experience you had, Rhonda. See, Rhonda, that's why I can't say it's the nurses. You are probably overworked and not fully staffed at your hospital. I come from a medical family. I have nurses in my family. My father was a doctor. Then he became a surgeon. So I am very familiar with healthcare. And from when my dad used to be in healthcare to where it is now, he would be mortified and ashamed. I mean, he's not with us no longer, but he would, like you, be mortified and ashamed. But it just is. It's how it is. And my only advice, if I was to give advice to anyone, is that even if it's a friend who's in the hospital and their family member can't be there, and you have a spare moment, do so. I mean, I don't know why things happen how they happen, but I was happy that I could be there and do what I could. And that's the end of it. That's all I have to say on that. But tomorrow I should be hopefully feeling even more peppier and better. And I will be on Lynn's live, right? She does a live. Tomorrow's Monday, right? Yeah, I think so. I think I'll be on her live tomorrow, depending how I am. And I remember the candy stripers. They were amazing and comforting. Yeah, you know, I guess that's a good passive for. Right? Does that say delusion? Yeah. Disillusioned. Disillusioned. Exactly. Like the button is not the nurse's fault. That's administration. Like every hospital button in that hospital should be working. No ands, ifs, buts about it. That's my thing on that. But hey, that's only me. Um, so what does my week look like? My week, I have no idea what my week looked like because I have a lot to catch up on at work. First thing, I have something that has a deadline, and I finished half of it, right? Because I'm doing two quilts, so I finished one. And my my honey today's like, I cannot believe you finished that quilt today because yesterday I did nothing but lay in bed, like nothing, because I just physically couldn't. So I did that one, and I have one more to do. And I have stuff cut out to start, but I don't know if I'm going to do that because I still have the outside situation, which you can't see, but you can see the beautiful leaves. We got a lot of leaves since I've been gone. But I need my electric pole to be installed still. It's still dangling in the air from that last storm. So that has to get fixed this week. So I'm sure you'll see me on a live. You won't see a lot of production. Leanna's always whipping out quilts. That's not going to happen this week because it's just not. There's just too much I have to do. Oh, Jordy, yeah, the nurses should do regularly hour rounds and just walk by at the very least. Yeah, so nursing has changed, Joydy, a lot to me. I spend a lot of time in hospitals with my dad, right? Volunteering and whatnot. And the nurses' station used to be like this little station like you see on movies, and all the nurses are there, and one is always getting up and walking around. But that's not how it is. So, at least at this hospital, every nurse had what I would call a student desk, right? A student desk is a little tiny thing. So, it's a little tiny thing with this screen on top with all the pictures of, I guess, the rooms that they're in charge of, and they just sit there and watch that. And so one nurse doesn't go if another nurse to another nurse's patient unless that nurse instructs. Yeah, it was interesting. I've never seen one. Rhonda, you're welcome to chime in here because I this is my first experience that I've seen this. So I'm not sure how it works. But hi Deb. They know. I know as I nurse, I can testify that nursing oh, you were a nurse. Okay, has changed. So it has changed. So it's very different than what I've seen. But so that's what I have going on this week. What I have going on is I have no idea. Gonna just go with the flow of things, trying to get caught up on that. That's my mission. I have to finish that. Because I get paid for that and I need payment. So I gotta work. And then I gotta work at school. And if I can do some overtime, I'll do some overtime and deal with this and quilt when I can. So you won't be seeing a lot of stuff. But I'll come on and talk with you. I'll be happy to do that. I hope everyone has a real, what time is it? 7:09. Okay. So I hope everyone has a really lovely evening. And I hope that you're taking care of yourself. I am doing that. That's why I can't promise anything this week because I have to figure it out for myself of how I'm going to feel. So take care of yourself, pass it forward. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and share my channel because that would be helpful. Oh, there's been a couple of changes. I forgot to tell you that I no longer have memberships. So the only way to support my channel is to watch those ads if you like. They're free if you watch them. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. I have a wish list at Soft Squares. It basically has maybe a ruler or two that I don't have, mostly thread because I'm really low on thread, and I don't know, a couple of maybe little project things that I want to do to do for my YouTube page. There's a super thanks button, I think, on here or something like that. I have no really idea. I'm trying to find other ways other than memberships. So that's something else I did, and I did that while all this was going on because I made a promise to you guys that I was going to end it at the end of the month. So I did do that. Just wanted to let you know that. Debbie says, so happy for the updates. Thank you, darling, and have a wonderful week, everyone. Yes, have a wonderful week. Thank you. Take care, Dawn, as well. Do you use cotton or polyester thread? I use cotton thread right now. Yeah, mostly cotton. That's what I use, cotton thread. Have a wonderful week, Leanna, and everyone else as well. So everyone, take care. Bye.